they don't see any peace, there's no dividend, a peace dividend. Remember when the Soviet Union fell, did they break up the military industrial complex? No, they wasn't found the Muslims. They said the Muslims now we got to build up bigger war machines to fight the Muslims, because they might throw a rock all the way over here from Iran and hit us with a pebble or a rock, right? So we got to have, everything else in the budget is in decline, except which budget?
The military.
They didn't even ask for no more money. Yes.
Then Don gave the millionaires all the big old tax break, and then he here to cut the federal workers, they can't get no raise. He said, because that would upset the budget.
He's using the Hezbollah playbook for everything he's doing. I mean, as though they wrote the book and gave it to him. He's using the Iranian playbook to destroy America. How to destroy your big enemy without firing a shot. How could we get all of this? Who could do, let's say you have 5 decisions on everything. Who could choose some are good, some are near to do well, some are neutral. Some are bad and some are very bad. You got 5 pillars to deal with. How could a guy snatch very bad every time? Unless he's directed to do it. How can you do it every time? You might, how about let's have a neutral decision? You got to, the rules say you gotta pick, sometimes you gotta pick you may even not want to, but this is a good decision. How could you do the worst thing all the time, every time? That's done. It don't make no difference, they had it right. Well, that was some good people, the good Nazis, and the bad old anti-Nazis. That's what it sounds like to me. And how could you have their national hero, John McCain, write his will out, and he makes sure, I don't want him nowhere. And he says, I mean, how could you say to the guy that, the guy's captured, if they shoot a missile at you and you flying over their country, bombing their country, they did a good job blowing you out of the air. But that don't make, there's no coward in it, that the thing hit your plane. You could stay in the plane and crash and burn, or you could push the eject button and they're gonna catch you.
That was his 27th combat mission. So
Yeah.
that wasn't the first time he had done that. He had done that 26 times before.
Oh, no doubt about it. But what the fools said, they ain't never been in the army. This guy ain't never even, he can't even march. He don't even know what a salute is.
He can't march when he got bowspurs.
He got, look, the guy been in the Playboy, he's in the Playboy Club all his life. And he said, this guy is not a hero. And they showed some on TV or CNN, the foreign veterans of foreign wars, the VFW, who are there? They're all mad. They like down. They showed the people and said, well, we like it, but that's stupid. That's crazy. Because they've been in a war. They know war. I mean, the stuff we be in is just, can you imagine you out on a battlefield in old-time wars last year? There's bombs going up. I said, man, I ain't going over there because the bullet don't even have to have your name on it, man. There's so many of them going, just imagine, in your area, there's 50 machine guns going off, 300 grenades, 1,000 bombs. It ain't even the right place or at the wrong time. You just happen to be there with all that. The mathematics say you can't get away from somebody. A large amount of people are going to die. That's ridiculous. That's really ridiculous. And he said, well, he ain't no hero. I don't like guys that haven't been captured. What was he gonna do? Put on Batman wings or something and go whoosh, glide on out of the way? So I'm saying about bad decisions. This man make the worst, he says the worst thing every time. And then he had old George Bush didn't like him and have Obama didn't like him because they said, oh, this is the nicest guy. Oh, he's the nicest man in the world. And that's what everybody's saying about John McCain. His guy was a little Napoleon guy almost.
They had an editorial in the Post today, and what they were showing was John McCain was going through the door, and I guess he going to heaven or whatever.
Right.
So the angel, you can see the angel's wing, right?
Right.
So the angel was saying something like, "We like those who got captured." So that's what the angel was saying.
Hey man.
God is something.
So look at these guys from way back. There's another in the ayah about Midian. This total destruction of Midian had become a byword among neighboring nations. In the Psalms 83, 5 and 9, Prophet David invokes help of Allah against the oppressors who have taken crafty counsel against thy people, saying, do unto them as unto the Midianites. The prophet Isaiah counsels the Israel, saying, be not afraid of Assyrian. He shall lift up his staff against thee after the manner of Egypt. The Lord of hosts shall stir up a scourge for him according to the slaughter of Midian. In other words, everybody in the area know about Midian. A deep significance underlies all the stories which have been related here. Every story applied appropriately and exactly to the case of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his people, the Quraysh. In every story, there are two parties, the Prophet and his people. In every story, the message of the prophets, his teaching, his admonition, and all others were exactly the same as those of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. On the other side, in every case, his people who were sank deep in wrong creeds, immoralities, and obdurances, and the chiefs who were puffed up with pride rejected the message contemporaneously. As the Quraysh were behaving exactly in the same way towards the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his message, they have been warned indirectly that their doom would be similar to those people if they did not accept his message and do not avail of the opportunity that Allah has afforded them. If they persisted blindly in their obduracy, they would meet with the same destruction which always has been the doom of those people who persisted in their deviation. I'd like to go on with one more and I'll complete this tafsir. This is Maulana Maududi's tafsir to this ayat. After citing the individual case of every prophet and his people, now the general and comprehensive procedure has been enunciated that Allah adopted at the appointment of each one of his messengers. Whenever a messenger was sent, Allah afflicted his people with adversities and calamities, so that they could or they should become meek and humble and be conditioned for the acceptance of the message. Accordingly, he sent famines and epidemics to them and made them suffer economic losses, defeated wars, and the like, in order to humble their pride and haughtiness and to frustrate their overconfidence in their powers, riches, and resources. Is there a little bit more here? Resources and capabilities. This was to make them realize that the higher power above them that controls their destinies, so that their hearts should incline into admonition. In other words, this is a hadith. Prophet ﷺ described the same thing in the tradition. Affliction goes on helping a believer to reform till he comes out of this furnace cleansed of all impurities. But the case of the hypocrite in affliction is that of an ass. He does not realize why his master tied him and why he untied him. This implies that if a community does not turn to Allah even when adversities and calamities are afflicted on, it does not remember Allah in gratitude when he showers his blessings upon it, and is not inclined to all reform or to reform itself in any way whatsoever, it is doomed and its destruction is imminent. I'm going to stop. There's a lot of this. What is this talking about? This is talking about the situation we're in today. As we're dealing with boss man, no matter what we tell boss man, he agrees with one thing, that this is the truth. A lot of the Negro tattletales, everybody agreed. The boss man on up the line knows that we're not breaking any laws. We would not consciously break any laws except the little driver stuff that they want to take my license, they'll have to give them back. I'm not going to ask them anymore for it. That is legal. It's just stupid today. But we have never decided here or met on anything that was illegal or to break any law or to harm anybody, no matter what they've been doing. Now, you got to remember, people have been pulling guns on us, right? They've been going down telling the police that this man just came from D.C. I might have showed y'all. Anybody see that paperwork with guns? That's in 2017. I don't know how many black people shot in 2017, but the guy up in Minneapolis with a gun carrying permit says, by the way, I have a gun. Bam, 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 and here's a Negro. Can you imagine what type of psychopath? This is beyond even, and it's in all the paperwork, in all the motions. I have it in 3-4 places that he has said on legal documents that I just got there from D.C. I have a shotgun, 2 shotguns in the car. And I've burglarized, I've broken into the Masjid with my name on it. All of that stuff, right? They know it's ridiculous, but it's wonderful. It's not accidental. We couldn't have got here accidentally. All this stuff couldn't have built up accidentally. And however it was built up, somebody had to have determined patience, stickability, love, kindness, and all of that to allow or help arrange all of this to happen so it's all open and documented for everybody to see. And then we wasn't just visiting care, standing out there in the cold. Sometimes we was going down there to say, hey, we got stuff to present here. Would you at least invite us in after we didn't call her? I don't know. You called him several times.
I sure did.
Okay, so we didn't call. I didn't call. Okay, so we're just outside saying care, don't care. Okay, now imagine, forget us, what about all the people that saw that on the video? And all the people that have heard about it? Nobody didn't call here. Nobody said nothing. But everywhere I go, everybody knows about it. Friends, foes, everybody, they know about it. Some have that, hold on, brother, look. Some have that, well, I guess we count the clock is running out. The white man gonna finish you off soon. And I look at them like they're crazy. Like I used to look at people 40 years ago. When the white man got you on the board, man, I hate to see you go. And I'm looking like, ain't nobody going nowhere. I don't know what's wrong with you. That's the look that's what we try to, we can't just burst out and tell people, if you think that we getting ready to go, we ain't going nowhere. Boss man's finished. Yes.
Remember when you were talking about the CARE had something not that long ago? Remember when they had the thing that they invited us to show us their power back in November of, I think it's 16?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the thing we went to out in Virginia?
Right, you might have went to, did I go?
Yeah, you went.
Springfield, when we went to Springfield.
Yeah, remember we went out there and they were
Okay.
trying, because you were telling us about the guy from Kansas City.
Oh, yeah, that was a CCMO.
Right.
That was, yeah.
And then you said they had another one that came up not that long ago, but they didn't invite us to that one.
Right, they might have. Well, yeah, I remember those things, the one we went out to Springfield.
Yeah, but you said they had one not
They
that
did
long ago
have
to
one.
remind us, but they didn't invite us to that one.
Right, that's right.
Well, I can understand why. You know, we stand out in front of their office, maybe they think we might go there and bust them out.
No, well, see, the thing is to become outlandish. How could this be care, and this the main office? How could we all know each other? And what could be the problem about at least coming out and saying hello?
It gets
For
so
salams. How about just coming out and saying, man, the heat is on? Like Nihad, I showed him the stuff back and he was reading the Strategic Management Under Conditions of Repression. While I'm talking to him, he is engrossed in reading. And finally, when I finished, he said, Imam Musa, your skin is thicker than mine. It's just a simple statement. Well, this has grown inches by now. The skin is so thick, it's a shame. But the point is, with all of the stuff that happened in Oakland, why nobody, it's not important. What about the Iranians? We didn't march with them till they got tired. We didn't march by America till they said, we'll just change the thing. They all know about it. And they know in the last year we've been so correct that it's unbelievable.
Don't forget our Canadian friends. Got the means by which to get all this stuff out.
Unbelievable. We'd have called all of them. Just put it. The thing that everybody's praying for, we got. They claim to be revolutionaries. We done already, look, we done blocked the white man's access to big-headedness. No, we faced him face to face, and we've used the strategic tactic that's good for him. He's part of the Mustaqbarun, the arrogant. We use humor. We talk about the white man. We didn't domesticated the white man. You gotta remember, that's not a loose word. Domesticated means we didn't train him to do what we wanted him to do. He's telling everybody else, I do what I want to do. This is what we want to happen. Do you think we're here right now where he wanted us to be 10, 15 years ago? Is this where he wanted As-Sabiqun to be right now? On the verge of publicly whipping his ass, psychologically. I mean, we have to ask, is this where he wanted us to be?
Do the Muslims want you to be there?
The Muslim, that's part of the mission. Remember, this trip was good, I tell you. Oakland was a black city. Everything was happening. The Masjid, the school, all of that property was in East Oakland. All of it, the roots of it is black people. Black people can see that. I mean, white people, black, everybody can see. The people of Oakland can say, whoever's doing that, they are well funded, they're well managed, they're organized, it's too visible. So they had to shut the masjid and all of that stuff down. It was target number one. Then the Islamic Center of Oakland, everything shifted from East Oakland. People, everything, nothing stayed in East, shifted to North Oakland. And I have a list. Remember, I called and had to look up a list of where the Eids are for me. And there was no Eids in Oakland, right? Just to prove it, I went right away that morning I got there. And one side is in Arabic, Eid Mubarak, this is the Yemeni flag. There's so many Yemenis now in Oakland. They basically, National Association of Yemeni Immigrants, San Francisco Bay Area. The only Eid in Oakland itself was right in the heart of the end of West Oakland at 9 a.m. I got there at 9:05 and there was a traffic jam, the people was leaving. Like at the Islamic Center. And I eat that when you do the prayer, you're just beginning. That's just the beginning. We do the prayer, they talk. They do the prayer is it. And they gone. The khutbah guy, I guess he talked to himself.